tushereke pamoja ushindi kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote, tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika. Chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima.
It is Humans TV Africa. It is Humans TV Africa. My name is Kato Mukasa. In the studio is Usan Baya, and we shall be taking you through Africa, ancient Africa, and the leaders that you didn't hear about. Now, today, I want to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel. This is a TV station. The name is Humans TV Africa, and we are registered as a charity that does media work. We have offices in Uganda, Kenya, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, UK, and the US, and we are still growing with studios all over the world. Our work is to inform, entertain, educate our audience. Now today, we want to share with you something very interesting about Africa, amazing facts about Kemetic Africa, but also ancient Africa, but also the rulers of Africa that actually made great things. Did you know that Africa had women kings? In other words, Africa had women that actually had so much influence in terms of leaders. If you have watched a movie, Woman King or Woman King, it's an imitation of the Dahomey Kingdom, Benin of today, and the history of a people in Africa that actually had women very strongly into leadership. Women were into leadership in some parts of Africa. Yes. And do you know that we had countries, not countries, basically kingdoms that resisted colonialism and basically defeated colonists, such as the Battle of Adowa in Ethiopia, when Ethiopians on 1st March 1879 defeated the Italians. We shall be looking at the facts. Let us look at this and more. Look at these images, and I shall be explaining to you what's happening right here. Now, today, we are looking at amazing facts about Africa, pre-colonial rulers who resisted imperialism, but also who set up a mark. Now, these are women that led in Africa. Now, these are the Amazon warriors, or the Dahomey women, the women who were special in the history of Africa. We call them women fighters of Dahomey. Women fighters of Dahomey were all from female military regiment in the kingdom of Dahomey, which is today Benin, Republic of Benin. Now, these women here trained intensely often in hand-to-hand combat among themselves. They were so disciplined that they were taught survival skills. They never married. They never married. They never had children. Their work was to fight. Now, think about a woman that were fighting to protect their kingdom. These were the Dahomey warriors, women fighters in Dahomey, as we are going to be seeing now. These women had lots of skills to fight. They would lead men into war. They would lead men into battles, and they would win battles. They were celibates. They never married. They never married. They were always there to fight. So, women fighters. Now, another amazing fact about the history of Africa is that woman there, you see, her name is Nana Ya Asantewa. Nana Ya Asantewa, born in 1840 and died in 1921, led the Asante people against the British imperialism. Now, who was this lady? Nana Asante was the Queen Mother of Asantewa, had the responsibilities, including being a gatekeeper of the golden stool. The golden stool is the symbol or an emblem of the Ashanti kingdom. Now, this woman protected the Ashanti kingdom. She protected it. Now, Ghanaian, of course. We're talking about Ghanaian. If you go to Kumasi, if you go to the Mahia Palace Museum in Kumasi, Ghana, you will find an effigy of this woman, Nana Ya Asantewa. I saw this image when I was in Ghana. Now, what was special about her? Born around 1840, this woman fought against British imperialism, and she was a human rights activist, a politician, and leader. Led a rebellion against the British, and in a battle to defend what they called the Golden Stool, over 1,000 British were killed, and over 1,000 Asante people and more were also killed. But she was leading a war against imperialism until when she was captured and, of course, taken as a prisoner. This is when the war was able to end. But she resisted for a number of years to keep the kingdom of Dahomey alive, to keep the Asante people there respected. Now, that's one. Now, we also talk about another impressive history right there. We talk about the Ethiopians and the kingdoms in Ethiopia, and how did the Ethiopians manage to resist colonialism? Look at that image where the British go to the Ethiopians and bow down before them. Bow down before them, because the Ethiopians were so superior, were so organized, were so strong militarily that they couldn't be defeated, that they could only work with them. You remember Menelik the second, who defeated the Italians at the Battle of Adwa. Now, these are leaders that resisted colonialism in ancient Africa. Of course, that is from the movie, The Woman King. Of course, we have watched this movie, Viola Davis and others trying to imitate what the women of Asante did so many years ago, beautifully, defending their kingdom against imperialism. Today, we ask a question: what are the women doing today? In those years, the women of Dahomey were defending their territory. They were fighters. Now, here, that image is an image of the pharaoh. Now, if you ask me, pharaohs that resisted imperialism, how did the pharaohs manage to keep their kingdoms, Kemet, call it Egypt, intact for a long time? These pharaohs resisted colonialism of whatever nature, call it imperialism, call it occupation. They resisted. Now, this is a photo of warrior king of Kemet. It's called Thutmose III. Thutmose III, one of those that built the pyramids, but also resisted the Greeks from coming in, the Romans from coming in, and of course other tribes of Africa. Now, this is a summary of the rulers, kings, pharaohs that built the pyramids you see in Egypt. From Nama, the first dynasty, to Zosa III, Huni, Khufu, Amenhotep, Thutmose III, I've just told you about, Mentuhotep II, Menkaure, of course, and others. I'm just giving you a glimpse of rulers that resisted occupation, whether it was from within Africa or outside. These rulers resisted. Now, here we talk about another yet magnificent kingdom, the Benin Kingdom. call it the Benin City. Today, you talk about the Edo people of Nigeria, but their history is traced from 900 CE. 900 CE, the Edo people of present-day Nigeria resisted imperialism, but also built some of the best fortresses you could think about. They had the best palaces you could think about, as you can see in those images. 900 CE. So they had what they call the great city of Benin, the kingdom there, which was very strong by 900 CE. You can imagine how magnificent it was. The Edo people of present-day Nigeria. You talk about Benin Kingdom. These guys built one of the magnificent cities. It had lights. They used to have palm oil. They used to actually have lighting system, better roads in Benin of 900 CE. Had better roads, had street lights, had a better agriculture system, had a defense system, soldiers well paid. Benin city walls. It was very hard to invade it and win it. They had gold. They had all these minerals, but also they had light, street lights. They had fortresses. They were well organized. 900 CE, Benin city walls were impenetrable. We are hard to penetrate. Now, we look at these figures again. We talk about people who resisted. For example, we talked about the King of Dahomey, the women warriors. You can see that photo of the women warriors, and I give you the source where I get this. If you want to read more, you can go and read more from the works of Melville Pekovitz, one of those anthropologists who wrote about women warriors of Benin, women who resisted imperialism, colonialism, and protected their kingdoms with their lives. Good soldiers, good fighters. Now, when you look at a book written by Nwando Achebe, Nwando Achebe's book of 2011 talks about the female king of colonial Nigeria. Yes, the female king of colonial Nigeria. Did you know that there were women who fought? There were women who led men to war. So Africa actually had women leaders. That is surprising. Yes, surprise. Yes, Africa had women that actually led men to war, that actually led their kingdoms to stability. That is it now. Let's continue to watch other images as prepared for today. Now, in these images, I'm still showing you women that led Africa. Ancient Africa, part of ancient Africa was actually led by women. On the screen, we see Agoije and the Dahomey Amazon warriors. Agoije, simply go and read about Agoije, one of these women that led their kingdoms to stability and defeated invaders. Agoije, one of those Dahomey or Amazon warriors, the kingdom of Dahomey, today you call it Benin Republic. And of course, when you go to Benin Republic, you are going to see that image on my right. Women warriors of Dahomey kingdom used to be called the Amazon warriors. Interesting history right there. Let us continue to see more facts about ancient Africa or pre-colonial Africa. Now, you see Shaka Zulu. If you remember Shaka Zulu, the guy who fought the British in the Anglo-Zulu War that took years and actually defeated the British on several occasions. 1879 was one of those examples. They began fighting from 1870s there. The fighting went on for almost 50 years. They were fighting, of course, different regiments, different leaders. But you remember Shaka Zulu, the guy on which the Zulu Empire is held. Today, first March, we celebrate. In every March, we celebrate Shaka Zulu and the Zulu Empire for their heroic ways of fighting. Of course, we know Shaka Zulu was born in 1787 and he died on 22nd September 1828. He was a Zulu chief who ruled between 1816 to 28, the founder of the Southern African Zulu Empire. He was a great man, a great fighter, a great orator, and a great motivator who fought against foreign occupation, against British imperialism in South Africa. Then we bring you another, yet another leader in those years. We talk about King Pierre, a Kushite king who conquered Egypt between 744 to 714 BC. He is also credited to be the founding father of the 25th dynasty of Egypt, called Kemet. He ruled from Napata a city in modern-day Sudan's Nubia region. Today we have a Sudan Nubia region. There was a city called Napata. This is where this ruler led and occupied Kemet, called Egypt, from the Nubians going to Egypt and taking over and ruling over Egypt as one of the pharaohs there, or kings of the 25th dynasty between 744 and 714 BC. And of course, we see how he was mummified right there. The history is there for you to see. We see now another leader in the history of Africa, the man called Mansa Musa. That is Mansa Musa's illustration, the central ruler of Mali Empire, one of the strongest empires in the world, not only Africa, but in the world. It was an empire called Mali Empire. It was bigger than Mali. It was bigger than Mali. It was covering much of West Africa of today, and it was the richest in terms of gold and other minerals. This man is regarded as the richest man in the world because he had so much wealth that when he went to Egypt and other countries, he left those countries struggling with inflation. The richest man, Mansa Musa, leading right there now. Here, I bring you yet another king called King Nyimu of the Kuba people. King Nyimu of the Kuba people, who was also considered both natural and supernatural. They thought he was a god that could actually disappear. He was a good fighter. He could lead his soldiers to fight, his army to fight, and sometimes he could even disappear in thin air. Of course, it was a lie, but they believed that King Nyimu had supernatural powers. His Majesty Kingdom flourished between the 17th century to the 19th century, when finally it was defeated and taken over by, of course, the Belgians and others. That's how we lost it. We look at yet another leader. We look at my man from Uganda. This is King Mwanga, Kabaka Mwanga. We call him Kabaka Mwanga. Now, Kabaka Mwanga was born in 1866. He died in exile in 1901. Why? This is the last independent Kabaka. Kabaka means ruler of the African Kingdom of Buganda, who shot to prominence and, of course, ruled or reigned during a turbulent time when the British wanted to take over Uganda, or call it Buganda by that time. And of course, he led a sporadic civil war, resisting them. And of course, he ended up killing or banning the so-called Uganda martyrs, who were defying his orders and, of course, taking sides of the invaders. That man protected a Buganda kingdom by fighting against imperialism, but also by banning the so-called Christians that were resisting his orders as the leader of Buganda kingdom. He's known in the history as the only man who tried his best in Uganda of today to resist colonialism. Of course, there was Kabalega, who fought alongside him of Bunyoro, but this man did a great job to resist imperialism until when he was taken into exile. Now, we talk about Menelik, Emperor Menelik II, the man who defeated Italians on several occasions, and the final battle that was so disastrous is the Battle of Adowa, which happened on 1st March 1895, where this man, Emperor Menelik II, killed thousands of Italians, and they went in shame until when many years later Mussolini came to revenge, because this man, Emperor Menelik II, had defeated the Italians, and not only defeated them, killed thousands of them and took some of them as prisoners. This man, Emperor Menelik II. Now, we're talking about leaders that made Africa resist colonialism, but also that saved Africa from imperialism, occupation of whatever nature. Thank you so much for watching. It is Human Civic Africa, where we always meet and share with you basic facts that maybe you haven't actually had in your history lessons, because schools actually don't talk about these things. Today, we have been lucky to be able to listen to some of the amazing facts from pre-colonial Africa. Which areas resisted? How did they resist? Did you know that women actually were fighters? Yes, today now you know they were fighters. Thank you so much for watching. Keep watching, keep subscribing. See you in the next one.